Why are there so many Singaporeans flocking over to Johor Bahru and even want to retire here? Is it because of the allure of Johor Bahru, or is it simply an escape hatch? Is it because Singaporeans knowing that Singapore is just across the Causeway and that comfort zone actually prevents them from exploring other retirement destinations in the rest of Malaysia or even other parts of the world? Or perhaps it's the superior exchange rate, Sing dollars to Malaysian ringgit, that can actually fetch more for lower prices and lower their cost of living. Hi everyone, I'm John, one half of the Corporate Breakout Couple. I'm Singaporean and early retiree since 2020, and I'm currently residing in Penang, Malaysia with my wife. The key topic for today's video is, why are there so many Singaporeans seemingly in love with Johor Bahru, such that they are buying properties left, right and center to want to retire here? Let's find out. But before we continue, I appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe to join our YouTube channel. Before we talk about the financial advantage of spending Sing dollars in JB, let's first talk about the non-financial reasons why Singaporeans love to flock over to JB and even want to retire there. The first reason is proximity to Singapore, and that includes proximity to your loved ones like family and friends, as well to the familiarity of Singapore just across the Causeway. This is an obvious one, especially for parents in their 50s and 60s where their kids have grown up. They want to be in close proximity to their kids across the Causeway, knowing that they can reach them easily within an hour or two, can be there for family meals or see them for certain occasions. And for those who have aging parents wanting to be there for their medical appointments or bringing them out for a leisure day, the proximity definitely helps. Of course, Singapore being a first world and developed nation, when you hop over the Causeway, you will enjoy a higher standard of living, indulging in cafes, restaurants, concerts or shopping malls, where you instantly get to feel the high life when you get to expensive Singapore. So it's really having the best of both worlds, or all worlds, when you reside in Johor Bahru for your retirement and you hop over to Singapore occasionally. And of course, you're familiar with all the systems in Singapore. With just your mobile phone, you can get around everywhere with your national identity, your driving license, EasyLink cards for you to get around public transport, all in one, your credit card. So it's easy for you to just go back to Singapore and seamlessly fit in on your day or multi-day trips. Reason number two why Singaporeans love flocking over to JB is escaping the hustle and bustle. In my previous video where I talked about Malaysians deciding to choose whether Singapore or Malaysia is a better place, one of the key points I've highlighted is actually to escape the hustle and bustle of Singapore and actually going to somewhere with more space, which Johor Bahru offers. Now, as a Singaporean myself, I perfectly understand why so many Singaporeans keep traveling out of the country frequently, because being the rat race, it is not easy. It's a pressure cooker, and I escaped the rat race only 4 years ago. Before that, I didn't understand why I keep wanting to take leave. Every single leave was purpose for going out of the country to take as many trips as possible, because somehow even going all over to Johor Bahru over the weekends, it feels like an escape hatch. I instantly feel freer. Now, Singaporeans, do you feel the same about this? Every time you leave Singapore's shores, whether it's to JB or out of the country, you instantly feel freer, and it doesn't feel like you're being constrained by the energy of Singapore, which is a hustle and bustle kind of grinding lifestyle. I guess for me, as a Singaporean who have been early retired and living in Penang, Malaysia for the last few years, I kind of see both sides of the coin. And Singapore, in order to maintain its status as a first world country, its competitiveness, does have stricter control on regulations to maintain law and order. So I have nothing against that. But as a repercussion, the country becomes very fast-paced. The hustle and bustle and grinding attitude has to be there. So escaping all that busyness is something that a lot of Singaporeans do on a frequent basis, especially when they travel out. And escaping to JB, fulfills one of that. I mean, for me, every time when I go over to JB, I feel that, it's a different country, it's freer, but, there's a little bit of a wild side, a cowboy town in Johor Bahru that I actually enjoy. And that actually gives me, a sense of danger, and therefore make me feel freer as well. Point number three experiencing something different other than Singapore. Many Singaporeans, including myself, have never left home, and traveling to other countries as a tourist does not count. So being able to stay somewhere else, even as near as JB, gives you the experience of a different system, a different environment, different currency, different neighbors, and that experience is actually really valuable. The experience of living somewhere else other than Singapore is something that I strongly recommend to my fellow Singaporeans, because their living experience will help you to grow, help you to have a different perspective in the eyes of another country's locals, the system, the food. When you experience all that, actually you will appreciate Singapore better as well. Point number 4, why Singaporeans love flocking over to JB is JB actually caters to Singaporeans' needs. This is very apparent, especially after the pandemic. Case in point, Mid Valley South Quay, which is an atas mall that is almost like a Singaporean mall catered for Singaporeans. And you will see many Singaporeans there. They will flock over there because they love the design of the mall, they love the shopping experience, the price point, of course, in terms of ringgit, enjoying buying branded goods or local products or eating local food over there in ringgit. As a Singaporean, you feel that Mid Valley South Quay feels like a luxurious mall with elegance but yet feels safe. It's like a home away from home. Besides shopping malls, of course, there are multiple services that's also catered towards Singaporeans, like cars, car repairs, maintenance, car washes. There's something that is a lot cheaper to do in JB compared to Singapore. Or beauty and wellness like hair salons, massages, manicures, pedicures, or even buying beauty products, facial. All these are a lot cheaper, and also the standard has been raised over the years to cater towards Singaporeans' demands. Let me share with you a few examples. Car wash. When you do car wash in Singapore, it will easily set you back 12 to 15 Sing dollars, sometimes without even vacuuming inside. Whereas if you go for snow wash in Johor Bahru, it will set you back about 10 to 12 ringgit, which includes full service of washing outside as well as vacuuming inside. Another example, Western cafes. When you eat in Singapore, let's say an all breakfast joint, it will easily set you back about 40 Sing dollars. Whereas for the same item in Johor Bahru, it will cost you roughly around 50 to 60 ringgit only. With continuing new developments that's going on in Johor Bahru, a lot of new stuff is actually catered towards Singaporeans' needs, like creating the RTS line, the connection between Singapore and Johor in the next few years, and both sets of immigrations, the Malaysian side and the Singapore side, wanting to improve their efficiency. That will definitely draw more crowd and more footfall into Johor Bahru, and more services in Johor Bahru will be catered towards Singaporeans. Point number 5 is the financial reason. Despite a recent pullback of the Sing dollars against ringgit, for the last 15 years, if you note the trend, Sing dollars has continued its bullish trend and continue to appreciate against the ringgit, and therefore the Sing currency stays strong, which actually includes a higher purchasing power to spend in ringgit. Don't forget, Malaysia is an export-centric country, which means they don't want the ringgit to be too strong. Then that will impact the competitiveness of their exported products. Whereas Singapore is different. They are an import-centric country. They want the Sing dollars to stay strong enough so that it doesn't get too expensive to buy goods and services from other countries. This financial reason is one of the key reasons why many Singaporeans consider retiring in Johor Bahru, because they will have a much lower cost of living when they use their Sing dollars to spend in ringgit, as well as they can own things like a bigger house, a landed house, which is difficult in Singapore, a car to drive around in Malaysia freely, whereas it's expensive to buy and own a car in Singapore. It is not surprising at all to see an increasing trend of Singaporeans flocking over to JB, whether for holidaying reasons or to retire, especially the older generation. And with the new developments that's going on between Singapore and the Johor government, you can really see more and more Singaporeans wanting to flock over there. Johor Bahru offers you plenty as a Singaporean, an affordable lifestyle living in the form of food and accommodation, as well as really cheap transport. Johor also offers you plenty of space which Singapore cannot offer you. And it gives you an enhanced lifestyle experience in these days, especially with new developments with lifestyle malls, concept cafes and restaurants. Having said all that, should Singaporeans only consider Johor Bahru as the retirement destination? Well, Fran and I think not, because we always advocate exploring the world, other retirement possibilities, which is the reason why we travel all around the world to cover retirement destinations. And we suggest you open up your mind and explore possibilities for your retirement, because retirement can be a really exciting new chapter for everyone, for new things to discover and new things that you want to gain in terms of experience for yourself. Therefore, we urge everyone to be bold and be adventurous to discover this amazing world. I'm John, one half of the Corporate Breakout Couple, signing off. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do hit the like button and subscribe to join our YouTube channel and share this video with all your friends. Bye bye.